Right there guys, right. This is my brew day video for the Altogether IPA. So Altogether IPA is a recipe that was released and initiated by Other Half Brewing in New York, I believe, or somewhere in America. And it was a worldwide collaboration beer. So what they've done is they've released the recipe, they've released the artwork for the labels, they've released like everything to go with it. And I think there's a couple of styles for the beer. There was a New England IPA style and a West Coast style as well. And I think the majority of people, from what I know, have brewed the New England IPA style. So anyway, it was also, as well as being a collaboration across the world, which other people did at different times, it wasn't always on the same day. There were 2 days that were allotted as the days that it was going to be done. One was the 2nd of May, the other one was, I think, the 18th of April, I think. Yeah, April, I think it was, something like that. I couldn't make either brew day, so I ended up doing this one on the week after, in between the two, in 25th of April, something like that, because I couldn't make it. I had stuff going on. Anyway, so I ended up brewing it. I changed the recipe slightly because I ordered some Golden Promise. Obviously, because we're in the middle of lockdown and we've got coronavirus around the world and everywhere's shut down, it took ages for the grain to turn up. It's since turned up. I've now got 25 kilos of Golden Promise to go through, so I'm fine for beer during lockdown. But I had to use Marisotto on the recipe on the day, unfortunately, so it's not true to the recipe. The hops as well changed slightly, but aren't too far off what was in the recipe. But anyway, look, have a look at the brew day, and right after, I'm going to do a taste test. But I'm also going to do, I have an Altogether IPA from Northern Monk, but I also have an Altogether IPA from Mondo, which is a brewery in Battersea, and I have an empty glass which I'm going to fill. So I'm going to do a taste test, 3 different versions of Altogether IPA, my one, Mondo's one, and Northern Monk's one, and let's see how different each of them are. Anyway, see you after the brew day. Okay, recirculating. Nice steady stream of work. I'm going to do this for 20 minutes. And now I'll put the spray ball on for a bit more even splattering, rather than just splattering in one place. Look at that. Cloudy as fuck. Alright, so we're running off. A nice hot sweet wort flowing into here. We got the sparge running into to wash out the grain. All looking good. I'll start probably put the kettle on now, just to start to get this heated up to boiling temperature. Cool. Okay, so here we are. We've got what looks like about 30 litres of hot sweet wort there. We're just going to wait for that to come up to boil temperature while I start tidying all of this shit up. We've got our first edition hops, 18 grams of Cascade ready to go in. I think it was Challenger, I think it was in the original recipe, but I haven't got that, so Cascade will do. Did that up to 10 IBUs, I think was what they recommended. That resulted in 18 grams, so there we go. That will go in at the 60-minute mark, but for now I'm going to start tidying this stuff up and wait for this to come up to a boil. Alright, here we are. Hot break has kicked off big and proper. Okay, so we're going 18 grams of what is it, Cascade, going in at the 60-minute mark. Here we go. Nice. Let's get that nice and wet. I'm going to clip that to the side so it doesn't go lost in the middle. Anyway, be back in an hour when it's time for flame out and all of the whirlpool additions. Just the brewery from the outside. If you can see the steam coming out of the doorway even. A nice beautiful day. Sat relaxing, a cup of coffee. Alright, so it's time for me to weigh up the hop additions. So as you can see there, I've got my amounts to go in for my steep and whirlpool. I have cocked up here when I was putting this into Beersmith and accidentally put Cascade as a whirlpool addition. It's meant to be Citra. So it's meant to be 28 grams of Citra, 56 grams of Mosaic, and then it's meant to be some more Cascade for the dry hop, and then 112 grams of both Citra and Mosaic each on the dry hop. So yeah, I'm just going to measure these up and obviously put Citra in rather than Cascade, and at flame out, once we start the whirlpool, we'll get that added in. As you can see here, it's a pretty simple recipe though. 6 kilos of pale malt, 1 kilo of flaked oats, 500 grams of carapils, and then we've got some water additions, which I use in order to get kind of like a New England IPA soft mouthfeel style water. Anyway, I'm just going to measure up these hop additions ready for the whirlpool, which is going to be in 20 minutes time anyway. Alright, so here we are with the measured up hops. So we have this one here, which is the 56 grams of Mosaic and 28 grams of Citra, which should be going in at steep and whirlpool. I thought I would measure up my dry hop hops ready for when I add them in 7 days time, and I'll just vacuum seal them in a bag ready to go. Makes it nice and easy on the day of dry hop. But look at that, one whole fucking pint cup full of hops. That's 112 grams of Citra, 112 grams of Mosaic, and 56 grams of Cascade. Boom! That is a nice big dry hop charge. Yeah. Alright, so time for flame out. Flame out's nice and easy on electric. Cool. I'm going to open up this. I'm going to open up this down here. Wow, see a load of air just. Crazy. Okay, I'm going to open up this one. I'm going to turn on pump 1. We should start to see a whirlpool. Hopefully. No? Okay, looks like I need to sort out the Alright, so I'm an absolute dick. I just had issues with my whirlpool, and the reason was I had the outlet from the boil kettle going into the outlet from the pump the other way around, rather than it going into the inlet from the pump, and I couldn't work out why. Without the pump everything worked fine, but with the pump it didn't. It took me about 5 minutes to sort it out. Anyway, I've got the whirlpool happening now. I've got the chiller running, so once it gets down to about 80 degrees, I'm going to stick the whirlpool hops in, put the lid on and leave it there for 20 minutes. Go off, make another cup of coffee and sit and relax for 20 minutes, and prep the fermentation bucket, I guess, which is actually sterilised and all ready to go, so not a lot left to do. Okay, so very soon I'm going to chuck the whirlpool hops in and let it do its thing. Down to 80 degrees, I've just chucked the whirlpool hop additions in. I'm going to stick the lid on, hopefully no flies and stuff will get in here, and we'll just leave that to sit for 20 minutes with the whirlpool moving the water around with the hops, and then in 20 minutes I will continue with the cool down. Okay, so time for a gravity reading. As you can see here, right, I'm hoping for a gravity of 1.066. I think the recipe calls for 1.065. And as you can see here, we've got a gravity reading of just under 1.071. So hitting above our numbers. That's what I always like to hear. Cool. So everything so far has been going good. Apart from my cocket with the pumps, it's been pretty cool. Let's not try and jinx it yet though. Okay, so temperature is at 26 degrees. Perfect temperature for pitching in for me. So I'm going to start the run into the fermenter. Cool. Leave that to keep running in. And turn off the whirlpool, don't need that anymore. Okay, let this one in, and then we'll get the yeast in. Right, so everything's in the fermenter. We've got 21 litres in the fermenter, a little bit left in the bottom of the bucket, loads of crap left in there, probably about 1.5 litres probably in the bottom. Okay, it's all full of shit, so I don't want it. And then we've got here, I've got 25 grams of Lal Brew New England yeast, dried. Beautiful yeast, does a really good job of some beautiful fruity esters, kicks off really well, really nice yeast. It's one that I will, even though it's a dry yeast, I will harvest this at the end of the brew. I usually keep it for like 3 or 4 brews, so it's well worth it 'cause it's bloody expensive. Neighbours are having fun. Anyway, let's put the lid on, put it in the fermenter, and kiss it goodbye for 7 days. Alright, so we have here 3 versions of Altogether IPA. Now mine obviously is a slightly more orangey one because it's you can see that here. That's the one brewed with Maris Otter. We have here, this is the Mondo one, which is a beautiful yellow colour. Very slightly orange glow to it. But in this light, in the sunlight, you can see it's a little bit more. See that? Yeah, lovely yellow to it. Mine in the sunlight is a bit more, you know, more orange. But that's Maris Otter, what do you expect? And then we have the Northern Monk one, which is just, that is yellow. I mean, I'd love to know what grain Northern Monk have used for that, because that is so pale. It's lovely. So there's a big difference. All the sun's going in, so you can see it better from here. So you can see the comparison between the 3 here. Very different. Mine's obviously very orange because of the Maris Otter. These 2 don't look too dissimilar, but they probably used a similar pale malt. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera here on a stand so that we can do a taste test and do a comparison between the 3, and you can film me instead. Wow, mine looks much darker. Anyway, yeah, 2 secs. Right, so here we are. You can see here, it's not too bad. It looks better in this light, and it was much better. So this is mine. This is Mondo's. This is mine, and look how pale Northern Monk's looks. Amazing colour they've got on theirs. And then you've got Mondo's against Northern Monk, so it doesn't look too different in that light, which is weird because these 2 don't look too different either. That is a bit more orange. Anyway, mine looks a bit murkier as well than the Mondo one. I think Northern Monk, they're very good at their hazy beers, so they've done really well. But look at the difference between those 2. Both as hazy as each other. Right, let's do a taste test and see how these came out. So I'm going to start with Mondo's, because that was the first one I bought. That's been sat in my fridge for a while. So this is the Mondo Altogether IPA. I've got a whole can here to drink, so really nice can design. Obviously they've stuck to the Altogether IPA branding on the back, but they've done a really nice bit of work on their design there. So let's give this a go. So on the nose, it's pineapple, bang, pineapple, really punchy pineapple. Yeah, really good pineapple on the nose there, really tropical fruit, really nice. It just smells like it's going to be like fruit juice. Slightly grassy, Really nice. Aftertaste is beautiful. Really nice tropical fruit, sweet aftertaste just rolling down the back of my tongue. On the sides of my tongue, it tastes a bit grassy. No bitterness, really gentle, really nice. Kind of what you'd expect from a New England IPA. Feels quite wet, very light in the mouth. We've obviously adjusted the water profile so that we've got a higher calcium chloride to sulfite ratio, because it's really nice and soft on the tongue. But yeah, really good. Okay, so let's go for the Northern Monk. I've bought 4 of these. I've had a couple of these already. This one's very different. So on the nose, totally different on the nose. Like, I'm not getting tropical fruit. I'm getting a slightly grassy hop profile. I'd love to know what hops they use, because it just doesn't. It smells so different. It doesn't sound the side of the can. So this is Northern Monk's can, by the way. They've done a nice Northern Monk bit of artwork with some roses and some twine. Can't see there who designed it. They're normally very good with their artwork, and you can normally peel the labels off and stick them on your fridge like I've done. Yeah, lovely colour. Yeah, I'm not getting the tropical fruits that I was getting with the Mondo one. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Still very, very gentle on the. Actually, the mouthfeel from this is much softer than the mouthfeel from the Mondo one, but there's a bitterness to this that I don't get from the Mondo one. And it's at the side of my mouth. It's the rather than the grassiness I was getting from the Mondo one, I'm getting the bitterness from whatever hops they used for bittering. I would say that both breweries use different hops for bittering depending on what they had in stock. Can't really see on the side of the can because it doesn't really say, but yeah, there's a bitterness to this, which is, it doesn't make it as pleasant as the Mondo one. So all in all, even though they're supposed to be to the same recipe, they're both very different beers. So let's try my one. So my one, I used Cascade as the bittering hop. I'm so pleased with how dank that looks. Very good. And I've got the carbonation at a nice level. See that head just hanging around. Whereas the Mondo one, the head's gone. You know, it's not coming back. It's got a message. This one's, the carbonation's nice on this one, and it seems to hold a reasonable head quite well. On my one, the fucking head's still there. Look at it. Anyway, on the nose, I am not getting much tropical fruit. I'd say the Mondo one was much nicer. No, not really. I'm not really getting a huge amount. There's the Mondo one. That's got, funnily enough, that's got a slightly stone fruity kind of aroma to it, funnily. I wonder if that's because I poured it in the same glass as the English IPA I had before. I hope not. Yeah, I'm not getting a huge amount of aroma that I was getting off this one. But then again, I'm not getting that off this one now either. Right, let's give it a taste. Anyway. That is lovely. So, on my one, really soft on the mouth, like just like clouds floating over your tongue. It's lovely. Maybe I've pushed my calcium chloride to sulfite ratio up too high. I think I'm doing like, pretty sure it's 1:2 or 2:1. So 2 to calcium chloride to 1 to sulfite. That is so soft in my mouth, like really gentle. There's no bitterness in this at all. It's slightly sweet. There's a lovely It doesn't have the, like this one's got a, they've nailed the tropical fruit aroma and flavours in this one. I don't get that as much in this one. It's pineapple and probably overripe mango more than anything, whereas this is more pineapple-y. Mine's more overripe mango. I'm really getting that, you know, mango-y kind of punch to the back of my mouth. Anyway, a lot of gas going down here. Anyway, yeah. Preference, I would say, I really like mine. This one's a bit too light for me. I've got a little bit less body. This one's got most body. I think this one came out slightly stronger as well. These are meant to be, these are 6.5. This came out at 7.5%, so a little bit stronger than the others, you know, 100% more. And I think that's made a difference in adding some sweetness and some body to it, because these here, this seems light. This doesn't taste like a 6.5% beer. It's like 5%, something like that. This tastes like a heavy beer. Tastes like a double IPA. Anyway, look, I'm going to go. I've got 3 beers to get down now. I'm going to be pissed by the end of this. And I've got to cook dinner after this as well, so it should be fun. Happy homebrew, guys. The recipe, I'll put a link to the recipe. Excuse me. I'll put a link to the recipe so that if you want to brew this altogether IPA, I would give it a go. It's not too dissimilar to the recipes I would normally do. Like the grain bill is pretty similar to what I'd normally do. Hop profiles are pretty similar, although you know, although I didn't use Simcoe in this, Mosaic and Citra, you know, I'd use all the time. So it's not too similar. I'd give it a go. It's a really nice beer. Comes out looking really good, but I'd use Golden Promise instead of Maris Otter, and you'll get that nice, look at that lovely colour compared to this. You know, much paler. Anyway, happy homebrew, guys. I'm going to sit down, drink these, get pissed, and cook dinner. Take care.